This conference will now be recorded.
So last class we have started this OOPS concept, okay, and we are discussing in detail what is what, and even some use cases as well, and uh, we discussed some class syntax. So what is the exact syntax of class? After that, on that syntax, we discussed some couple of scenarios and even some access modifiers. So these things also we have done. I mean, we have discussed it both practically and as well as theory part, and after that even we have discussed about what is abstract class, and we discussed some practical example on abstract class with a couple of scenarios, and then we discussed about what is the difference between I mean concrete class and abstract class. So these things also we have discussed, I hope, right? So now we need to discuss about this interface concept. So after that we can go with some I mean couple of examples or couple of scenarios on interface. Okay, so let me start this interface. First of all, theory part, then we can go with practical. Interface. Interface is a Java container. It able to allow only abstract methods. It will not allow concrete methods. Okay, so we discussed that abstract. If you observe this abstract class members, so one is it is having abstract methods, and one more thing is in concrete methods, which were discussed. But if you observe this interface, or if you observe this interface members, right, it is having only abstract methods. Here we don't have the concept of concrete methods. Okay, that is the first point. So interface is a Java element. It can be utilized, declared, or you can say that exposed only service names in the form of abstract methods. It will not provide service implementations, or you can say that a body. Just it is going to define only abstract methods, not implementation. That is the name. Okay. In Java applications, for the interface, we are able to create only reference variables. We are unable to create objects. Okay, this point is so many times I have explained. For an abstract class, even for interface, if you are trying to create an object, so definitely we are unable to create an object. We are able to create only reference variable, and within this interface concept, whenever we are going with a practical example, so once again we're going to discuss, so can we create an object for interface or not, and some couple of scenarios we'll discuss. Okay, and fourth one, in the case of interfaces, by default all the variables are public static final. By default all the variables are public static final. And fifth one, in the case of interfaces, by default all the methods are public and abstract. Okay, so even this one also discussed, I think so. See here. So first of all, observe this point. In case of interfaces, so by default all the methods are public plus abstract, right? So now here, just I have defined some methods void m1 and void m2. Just to define some methods void m1 and m2. So you know already how to create an abstract method. So just by using a keyword called as an abstract, and it does not have any implementation of body. Means like this. Abstract void like this we need to, we are able to create an abstract methods. And even interface, interface is also having only abstract methods. You don't have the concept of concrete methods, right? So now here if you observe, I did not define any abstract methods. I did not mention any abstract keyword if you observe in the interface here, right? So let us compile this program. So Java C plus 45 Java Java test 45. And here we're having one more command called as a Java P. Just if you want to check Java profile, right? So just I want to know profile of an interface. See here. So even though if you're defining void m1 by default, right? By default, these methods are public plus abstract. This feature is provided by JVM. So we no need to worry about we no need to worry about we need to define abstract methods, or we need to define a public keyword followed by. So these things we no need to worry. Just if we're defining like this as well, right? So JVM is going to provide by default these methods are public plus abstract. Okay, that is a this is the important point. And even for these variables as well. So if you observe, I have defined some variable, maybe int a is equal to 10. Sorry. Here, by default, these variables are public static final. So that is the same thing here. Public static final. So even if you're not providing these keywords, public static final, so JVM is going to provide, or JVM is going to be by default yours are defined as a public static final. Even if you're not defining, or JVM is going to provide these respective keywords. Okay. So these are some important points which is related to interface. Okay. While implementing abstract methods, equals declare methods as public, otherwise we will get compile time error. Okay, so here this point once again I'm going to explain. So if anybody did not get this point, okay, at this point of time, I want to do it. Procedure to use interfaces in Java applications. Declare an interface by using interface keyword. Okay, we need to define an interface by using a keyword called as an interface. Okay, that is first point. Declare all the service names in the form of abstract methods. So declare all service names. What are the service names you're providing? So in the form of abstract methods. Okay, so even if you're not loading abstract, so by default is going to take public plus abstract. Declare an implementation clause by including implements keyword for the interface, like subclass in the case of abstract classes. Implement all the interface methods at implementation clause by declaring public. In main class, in main method, declare reference variable either for interface or for implementation clause, but we must create object for implementation clause. Access the interface members. So just observe these points. What are the points which I mentioned you? I mean these points. So here nothing is there. So first of all we need to define interface, and within this interface we need to create some couple of abstract methods, and for that interface we need to create an implementation class. Within the implementation class, for each and every abstract method, whatever the abstract methods in which you have defined interface, we need to provide the respective implementation in implementation class. While providing the implementation, right, each method, so we need to provide a keyword called as a public. Okay, that is a one more important point. And try to create a reference variable for an interface and try to access this respective members, right? So this is the same thing which I have explained you in the theory part. Okay, so now we can go with practical. So one more note point. So this note point you already aware, whoever following. If we declare reference variable for interface, then we are able to access only interface members. We are unable to access implementation class members. If we declare reference variable for implementation class, then we are able to access both interface members and also implementation class members. That's it. Okay, these are the important points. So for suppose if you are defining a reference variable for an interface, we're able to access only interface members. But whenever if you're trying to create a reference variable and as well as an object for an interface, if you're creating a reference variable and as well as an object for implementation class, not for an interface, then we are able to access both these interface members and as well as an implementation class members. Okay, always we are recommended to go with creating a reference variable and as well as an object for implementation class. Okay, so these are the couple of points. So is this theory part is fine, all of you? Any doubts? Is it clear so far?
This conference will now be recorded.
So now my requirement is simple. So just need to go to any of the emails, whatever the emails we're having, either Outlook or Gmail. Okay. So first of all, you need to this thing is completely you need to write in Java program. So you need to authenticate to that respective server, either it is a Gmail or Outlook. So once your authentication is successful, right? So then you need to read these mails. What are the mails you're having? So generally, if you observe any Gmail or Outlook, basically we're having unread mails and even read mails as well. But out of these unread mails and read mails, just I want to read only unread mails, and within that unread mails, if you're having any attached documents of a different format, it can be Excel, PDF, anything, whatever the different formats we're having. So that document, what are the attachments we're having? That attachments itself need to download in a local in a local disk or in a local file system, within a specific folder. Maybe let us assume some D Outlook attachments like that. Within that folder, I need to download this all the attachments. What are the attachments in which we're having in unread mails? Okay, and one more enhancement of this requirement is, for suppose, let us assume, so from October 25th to till November 3rd, I did not open my Gmail account. Let us assume. Okay, so from October 25th to till November 3rd, so just we're having some around, what I mean to say is, we're having a unread mails around some 100 mails is there. Let us assume. But if you observe in today, November 3rd, so just I have got only one mail that is on today till now. Okay, till now I got only one mail out of, if you observe this 99 mails is from previous dates. I mean October 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30, 31, and first and second. These mails are from these respective dates or these respective dates. But if you observe this 100th mail which is came on today, that is on November 3rd. Okay, so out of these many of unread mails, what are the mails we're having, I want to read only a current date, I mean today's date only unread mails, irrespective of what are the unread mails in which we're having in different dates. Simple, I want to read unread mails only on today's dates. Once if I read this unread mail of today's date, if it is having some attachment, that attachment itself need to download. Is requirement is fine, all of you, or you feel that it is somewhat complex? Simple. First, you need to do a couple of things. So divide this requirement into n number of parts. First step is you need to authenticate to Outlook or a Gmail. So while authenticating, right, whatever the different servers or different mechanism we're having, because if you observe, so if you want to authenticate any server, before authenticating server, definitely we're having some protocol mechanism. Okay, either SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, or pop-up 3 or IMPS. IM, not PS, IM, APS, I think so. Okay, just you need to check it. So based upon these three protocols, these are the different protocols. So for any email account, what are the email accounts we're having? Okay, either one of the protocol you need to authenticate. So don't authenticate with SMTP, but it is a less secure. So just try to authenticate either pop-up 3 or IMPS, IMAPS. Okay, try to authenticate. That is the first thing. And then, so try to read all the mails first of all. Okay, so and then make some some mails as a mark as a unread, and try to check how can we write a logic for reading this unread mails. Okay, I hope this requirement is fine for you.
This conference will now be recorded.
So now if you observe this interface, just I created two upstate methods. So within that interface, right? So now for this interface, definitely you know that you're unable to create an object. For suppose if I'm trying to create an object, here some small a is equal to new a. So if you observe, I'm creating a reference variable and as well as an object for an interface, right? So Java C test 45 dot Java here. A is an abstract, can't be instantiated. Means we're unable to create an object for interface. This is the practical. Okay. So now let us try to create a reference variable here. Nothing but like this. A some A1. So whenever if you are creating a reference for an interface, right? Nothing but creating a reference variable is possible. Okay. But by using this reference variable, if you are trying to access like this A1 dot M1, right? Then immediately you're going to get some compile time. Here, variable a1 might not have been initialized. So what is the conclusion? So creating a reference variable is possible, but by using that respect to reference variable, if you're trying to access any interface numbers, immediately you're going to get some compile time error. So now a some small a is equal to new b. If you observe this statement, right, we are creating reference variable for an interface, and we are creating an object for class b, right? So try to access now. So sorry, a dot m1 and a dot m2. This is the respect output, right? So now let me create a one more method within this class b. Public void m3 system dot out dot like this and create, right? So nothing but a dot m3 means by using abstract class reference variable, I am accessing uh, class B members. I mean, I am accessing implementation class member as well. Okay. So here cannot find symbol. Okay. A dot m3 symbol is nothing but method m3 location variable of a of type A. So what is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of this error? So first of all, it is not finding symbol a dot m3. So here a dot m3 means, so it is giving symbol method, nothing but m3 is a method, location variable a. So if you observe this small a in the reference variable of which class? Nothing but not exactly class here, which interface? A. So nothing but within this interface a, it is not finding a method with the name as m3. Within an interface A, it is not finding a method with M3, method named as M3. So this is a practical example. By using this abstract class reference variable, we are able to access only interface members. We are unable to access implementation class members here. There is a one more point. So now try to create reference variable and as well as an object for implementation class, nothing but b, some small b is equal to new b dot m1, b dot m2, b dot m3. What happened? Okay, so try to execute this program. See here, this is the output. Means, so if you observe here, right? So this is the respect output means by using interface members, right? I mean by using interface reference, sorry, implementation class reference variable, we are able to access both interface members and as well as an implementation class members. Okay. So what are the points which I have explained you? Same thing I have explained you as a practical. Okay.